The week before everything was about to change, you started an argument that didn't need to happen. Or you got sick. Or you decided the plan needed to be rebuilt from scratch. Or you simply stopped showing up. Not dramatically, not with a reason. Just quietly withdrew from the momentum that had been building. And you blamed the timing. You blamed the circumstances. You blamed other people. What you didn't examine, what almost no one examines, is that the break was internal. That the disruption came from inside the system. That some part of you operating beneath conscious awareness decided that where you were heading was too far from where you have always been, and it pulled you back. This is not procrastination. Procrastination is visible. You know when you are avoiding something. What I am describing is different. It is the sabotage that arrives after the commitment, after the effort, after things begin to work. It arrives right at the threshold. And most people spend their entire lives crossing the same threshold, getting close, and then finding a reason to step back, without ever understanding the mechanism behind it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that mechanism is, and I am going to give you a 4-step system to interrupt it, before it costs you another breakthrough. The standard conversation about self-sabotage focuses on the beginning of things, the procrastination, the avoidance, the failure to start. And that version is real. But it is not the most dangerous version. The most dangerous version happens at the peak. It happens when the relationship is finally good, when the business is finally gaining traction, when the opportunity is finally in reach. It is the fight that begins for no real reason 3 days before a major decision. The illness that arrives the morning of the presentation. The sudden certainty that this is not the right time, the right path, the right version of the plan, when in reality the plan was working. Gay Hendricks, in his work on performance psychology, called this the upper limit problem. The idea that every person carries an internal thermostat, a set point for how much success, love, clarity, and forward movement they are allowed to experience before the system corrects. When you exceed your set point, even in a positive direction, the unconscious mind experiences it as a threat to its familiar order, and it acts. Not with logic, not with evidence, with behavior, with disruption, with the sudden, urgent need to return to what is known. Self-sabotage at the peak is not weakness. It is a protection mechanism that has outlived its original purpose. And understanding that distinction changes everything about how you approach it. Carl Jung wrote something that most people read and file under philosophy. It belongs in your operating manual. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. The mechanism behind peak self-sabotage is this. Your identity has a ceiling, not a visible one, not one you chose. One that was constructed over years from the beliefs, environments, and experiences that shaped what you decided was normal for someone like you. When your external reality begins to outpace your internal identity, when the life you are building starts to exceed the image you hold of yourself, the brain does not celebrate. It experiences dissonance. And dissonance is uncomfortable enough that the brain will generate behavior to resolve it. Not because you are broken, because the brain prioritizes coherence over growth. The result is a specific set of behavioral signatures that appear at the threshold. Learn to recognize them. Chaos creation. Right before a breakthrough, you manufacture a crisis, a conflict that didn't need to happen, a decision revisited for no new reason, a dramatic shift in direction framed as recalibration. The chaos is not random. It is the system generating enough disruption to pull you back below the ceiling. Sudden unworthiness. The moment real opportunity arrives, the internal narrative shifts. Suddenly you are not ready. Suddenly your credentials are insufficient. Suddenly the people who said yes must not fully understand what they agreed to. The unworthiness is not evidence, it is interference. It arrives precisely when it is most costly because that is when the ceiling is most under pressure. Completion avoidance. You start, you build, you get to 80%, and then the project stalls. Not for lack of ability, not for lack of time, but because finishing means arriving somewhere new. And arriving somewhere new means leaving somewhere familiar. The unfinished thing is not failure. It is a negotiation with your own ceiling. A place where you stand still long enough for the ceiling to remain intact. 4 steps in sequence. The sequence is deliberate. Each step creates the conditions for the next. Step 1. Name the pattern before it names you. The moment you notice chaos creation, sudden unworthiness, or completion avoidance, stop. Do not engage the content of the disruption. Do not problem-solve the argument, analyze the self-doubt, or revise the plan. Instead, name what is happening, out loud if possible. This is upper limiting. This is the ceiling engaging. The mechanism, the unconscious, operates below language. The moment you bring it into language, you create distance from it. Distance is the only space in which you have a choice. Without distance, the impulse is the action. With distance, the impulse is just a signal, one you can choose to act on or not. Most people engage the content of their self-sabotage, which reinforces it. Name the process instead. The disruption loses most of its force the moment it is seen accurately. Step 2. Locate your ceiling precisely. Ask yourself a specific question. At what point historically do things tend to fall apart? Not why they fall apart. Where? Is it after the first real success? At the point of public visibility? When someone important acknowledges your work? When the relationship reaches genuine depth? The ceiling is always located at a specific threshold. Once you can name the location, you can anticipate the sabotage before it arrives. You are no longer surprised by your own pattern. You are watching for it, and a pattern you are watching for has already lost the element of surprise that made it effective. Write the location down, 1 sentence. The sentence itself is the diagnostic. Step 3. Interrupt the impulse. Do not fight it. When the sabotage behavior activates, when you feel the urge to create the crisis, pull back from the opportunity, or abandon the completion, do not suppress it. Suppression uses the same energy you need for forward movement and loses the battle most of the time. Instead, delay. Insert a minimum of 24 hours between the impulse and any action. Not because the feeling is wrong, because feelings generated by an upper limiting response are not reliable data. They are the ceiling defending itself. They will pass. The opportunity, the relationship, the work, those require a response that comes from you, not from the pattern. The impulse to disrupt is loudest precisely when you are closest to something real. That loudness is the signal, not the instruction. Step 4. Expand the identity before you raise the behavior. This is the step most people skip, and it is why most self-improvement efforts fail to hold. You cannot consistently outbehave your self-image. If your internal identity does not expand to match the external results you are pursuing, the results will eventually be corrected back down. Identity expansion is not affirmation. It is deliberate exposure, placing yourself in environments, conversations, and contexts where what you are building is considered normal. Finding people for whom your ceiling is their floor. Consuming, consistently, the evidence that what you are reaching for is not only possible but common for the category of person you are becoming. The brain calibrates to its environment. When the environment expands, the ceiling rises, not through force, through repeated exposure to a new normal. There is a specific way to misuse this framework, and it produces one of the most sophisticated forms of self-sabotage available. It is this: using the understanding of self-sabotage as a reason to avoid action. I'm upper limiting right now, so I should wait until I've done the inner work. I need to expand my identity before I can move forward. I understand the pattern now, I just need to process it more deeply. That is the ceiling using your own intelligence against you. Awareness that produces only analysis is not healing. It is avoidance at a higher vocabulary level. The framework is not a replacement for action. It is a companion to it. You name the pattern, and you move anyway. You locate the ceiling, and you cross it anyway. And not because you feel ready, but because you understand that readiness is itself a ceiling defense mechanism. The system will never tell you that you are ready. That notification does not exist. Understanding the trap is not the same as escaping it. Escaping it requires movement. Informed, deliberate, uncomfortable movement. You have been a person who gets close close to the breakthrough, close to the relationship that changes things, close to the version of work that reflects what you are actually capable of, close in willpower, and then, for reasons you never fully examined, not quite there. That pattern is not your character. It is your ceiling. And there is a difference between what you have been limited to and what you actually are. The person on the other side of this pattern does not wait for the feeling of readiness. They have learned to recognize the feeling of upper limiting, and they have decided, as a matter of discipline, not to obey it. They finish what they start, not because finishing is easy, because they understand that every incomplete thing is a negotiation with a ceiling that should not be in charge. From this point forward, the question is not, am I ready? The question is this the ceiling talking, or is this real information? Learn to tell the difference. Answer accordingly. Finish the thing. That is not motivation. That is governance. And it is available to you right now. If this gave you a name for something you have been living inside of, subscribe.